It is Tuesday, which means it is Tradition Tuesday, and we're at the Tradition campus of William Carey University. Dr. Carolyn Fisher, you are the, let me get this right, the Director of Undergraduate Academic Nursing Program?
Here on the Tradition campus.
On the Tradition campus.
Yes.
Well, so in addition to telling us what you do in your job, also give us a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been a registered nurse for 28 years. I was in the actual healthcare arena, bedside nursing for the first 13 years of that, and I've been in academic nursing for the past 15 years, and 7 of those I've been here at William Carey.
That's impressive. Another one of those career fields that is a calling, not one of those things you just wake up one day and say, I think I'll be a nurse.
Right. You have to, people who are nurses, we definitely have to have that caring and wanting to take care of people. It's the nurturing part of it. I actually went to school thinking I'd be a lawyer and then realized that wasn't what my calling was, and I wanted to understand why things happened and how to take care of things, especially with older family members and that, and so that's kind of what drove me into doing the nursing field instead. So.
Sure. So listen, there's no surprise that nationwide there's a nursing shortage and that we are, I say we, meaning Mississippi ranks 45th in the nation for access and affordability of healthcare. So it's important that we are bringing in the new generation of nurses.
Right. Especially after COVID, we saw a big change in nursing. A lot of nurses retired early, people got burnt out, and so that we had a nursing shortage before COVID, that just made it even worse. So now we are trying to get those bedside nurses, and here at Carey, we've come up with different programs to help people get into nursing that may not be the traditional route that they think of.
So tell us about those traditional routes. So how would if somebody's interested in going into nursing, what is the normal, I guess, way to get into the program?
So normally, whenever somebody wants to be a nurse, they go and they take their prerequisites, your sciences, your humanities, and the core curriculum courses. You apply to the nursing program, and then here at Carey, it takes 18 months once you start the nursing program to finish with your bachelor's in nursing. So those are your traditional high school students right out of high school, or older adults who may just went to school, but that's your traditional pre-licensure route to get a bachelor's in nursing.
So, but if can you get your RN as well?
So once you finish your BSN, you sit for your boards. You have to take your NCLEX, and that's where you get the RN.
But that's not on the same program.
Oh, it's the same program.
It is the same program. Got it.
Yes.
And that all happens right here on the Tradition campus.
Right. Right.
So there are those individuals who maybe have some experience or certifications in the field, in a medical field already, that might want to upgrade to a BSN. How do they do that?
Well, we just started this next spring. We have our first cohort starting of our healthcare transitions program. And so what that entails is anyone who works in healthcare that has a certification, such as a respiratory therapist, a certified nursing assistant, a phlebotomist, they can come in, and as long as they have the prerequisites and the core curriculum that are required for the BSN program, then they can actually do our hybrid program. So they can continue to work all week in their job. They would take their courses theory-wise online, and it's asynchronous. And then on the weekends, they would have like one day a weekend where they would either do a synchronous lab online or in-person clinical, typically within 100 miles of where they live. So the only time they're having to be face-to-face is for those labs and clinicals. The rest of the time they work on their timeline for each week with that asynchronous theory portion.
You said a lab online.
Yes.
You're going to have to break that one down.
Okay.
I didn't get that benefit.
So we actually, for skills lab, in nursing you have to learn skills.
Sure.
And we have these skills labs here on campus with our mannequins and that. Well, we've actually put together skills lab bags that these students take, and it has all of the different little mannequin parts that they need in it, all of the equipment that they need to learn the skills, and then they log on to, say, Teams or WebEx with their lab instructor who walks them through it, and they practice that together with the rest of the people that are in their lab online for that lab time. So it's face-to-face, but in your house.
Right.
And that helps with those who, can't be going someplace all week long and doing the labs during the week. So they usually do those either on a Friday evening or a Saturday. Once they get past those labs, then they go into their in-person clinicals. You have to get those in-person clinicals. So that way we actually have adjuncts all over the state so that we're able to offer them that clinical experience in a hospital that is near where they live.
So I guess suffice it to say, there weren't a lot of great things that came out of COVID. One of them was the ability to modify the way we do things virtually.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge. The fact that there's any kind of online capacity for nursing is impressive in and of itself.
Yes, we learned a lot, and you know, we still need that hands-on touch, and so that's why we still push those in-person clinicals. We can do so much simulation, but until you actually touch a person, you really don't know what you're getting into. And so we do the simulations to help people get past that fear of what they're doing. You know, it's a safe environment, and then we bring them into the hospital system where they're working with a patient, where they still have a faculty member with them that's helping them to learn, but they actually get the true feeling of what it is to be a nurse.
Another bonus for the healthcare transitions BSN, there's no entrance exam.
No, there's not. So before they used to have to take an exam that was called the T's, and they had to make a certain percentage on it. And so we have done away with that. The only time somebody would have to take that is if they have one or more science failures, and then they have to take the T's, but the only thing we look at is their science score. And so that's just because they've retaken sciences. We want to make sure they have that ability for that science background.
And then free textbooks?
Yes.
Who does that?
William Carey.
Right.
So we have free textbooks for all undergraduates. So anybody who is going in for a bachelor's degree, their textbooks are completely free. And that's a big, especially in nursing. Nursing books are expensive. So that's
everything
a big
nursing
savings.
Is expensive. The program, but listen, that's not without saying, but it's a very important role in the community. Like we cannot go without them, right?
No, no.
We can tell you that, having been through the COVID situation that we've been through. We have to have nurses. Doctors will definitely tell you they can't do what they do without nurses. It's a very integral part of the healthcare system.
Nurses are the one person in the hospital that can do almost everybody else's jobs, except for the doctor. So we are we're trained in all of those different fields, and so whenever the times are rough, the nurses are the ones that usually they're being called on. We're right there with the patient.
Of course. What percentage of your nurses graduate from this program and go into the field immediately?
100%.
That doesn't happen anywhere else in most places. And I say anywhere else, I don't mean specifically William Carey. A lot of programs, there's work to get into the field once you've graduated. This is almost instant, if not completely instant.
And one thing that helps our nursing students here is their last term here, they do 180 hours in the hospital with a registered nurse. They work that nurse's shift with them. So it's almost like an on-the-job interview. And more times than not, they are offered a job during that preceptorship. So when they graduate and they pass those boards, they're going straight into that hospital to start their nursing career.
Well, and they're getting that exposure, that non-classroom exposure, the real-world application of what they've learned in the classroom, or virtually even.
Yes.
That's an important piece of it. Dr. Carolyn Fisher, in charge of the undergraduate academic nursing program at William Carey University Tradition Campus.
Yes.
Did I get it all?
You got it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And listen, every Tuesday we're here, William Carey University Tradition Campus. We will see you right back here next Tuesday.